Today's news.
CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A dire warning hours after President Trump's new trade tariffs went into effect and China retaliated. J.P. Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon tells Fox Business he believes the likely outcome will be a recession. About Beijing's reaction to 104% tariffs on its imports, the BBC's Anna Corin.
China has responded, issuing that 84% tariff on all U.S. goods going into the United States. I mean, you're talking about agricultural products that are going to be hit the hardest.
CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger. Currently, this is a point where you would hope that there would be some negotiations that could take place. Without those negotiations, I think we're in for a very choppy period of uncertainty in the markets. Already, as soon as that tariff announcement was made by China, we saw that U.S. stock futures pointed lower by almost 2%. A federal judge in New York hears arguments from the American Civil Liberties Union today on the Trump administration's deportation flights to El Salvador. The ACLU's Lee Gallant.
We are hoping that the judge will issue a temporary restraining order to keep things in place while the case can proceed further, and then we can provide the court with more briefing and more facts.
On Monday, the Supreme Court lifted an order that prevented the deportation of alleged gang members with some new requirements. A Louisiana immigration judge is calling on the government to provide evidence that detained activist Mahmoud Khalil, who led pro-Palestinian protests at Columbia University, should be deported. CBS's Katrina Kaufman.
The government essentially has to show that he may be committed fraud or misrepresented himself on his green card application, or that he's linked to terrorism. But we should find out more, later today. We see if the government actually does produce this evidence that they've been waiting for.
Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is detailing his views on vaccination as measles cases in the U.S. top 600 in 23 states. He spoke exclusively to CBS's Dr. John McCool.
I'm not going to take people's vaccines away from them. What I'm going to do is make sure that we have good science so that people can make an informed choice.
Kennedy once said that measles vaccines are unnecessary and risky. New study shows which home reno projects will get you the most bang for your buck. CBS's Michael Wallace.
A report from the National Association of Realtors says the best cost recovery projects are a new front door, renovated closets, and new windows. The projects that bring the most joy?
Adding a completely new bedroom suite, a kitchen upgrade, and then new roofing.
This is Chief Economist Jessica Blau. This is CBS News.
Well, that's today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dashcam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. It's 49 degrees in Oakland, California.